Good morning, everybody. Andrew is here. We're going to do the recap today. It turned out to be a pretty solid, amazing day, thanks to AMD. Well, AMD, it was gapping up today to almost 3%, 2.5%. And apparently there was a news that they're going to go, they have like AI, something releasing with AI. And now this AI is just the, stunt that all the executives are trying to take out and pool and then raise money. So it was pretty trade. It was again gapping up today in the morning, and then sold off for 2 minutes. I was actually a little bit late. I didn't really trade it, right on time. Sold off. And then what happened was there's a huge bullish candlestick showed up. This is a very, very, very bullish candlestick that it just comes right after a bearish candlestick. This can be potentially an engulfing pattern, which is one of my favorite patterns, especially in 5-minute chart. There is a course on the Education Center on this bullish and bearish engulfing candle. So that was a very, very nice candlestick. So I jumped in long. And then added more a little bit to get the breakout, and the high was 129, the high of pre-market. We did pop up. I didn't unfortunately partial out. I really wanted to get to 129.50 and 130, and then it came down and it got to stop me out. So that was a bad loss. It wasn't very, very bad, but it was a loss nonetheless. And then suddenly it came back up again, and this was also again another bullish pattern. So there's a bearish candlestick and suddenly a big bullish candlestick show up. This is again another bullish one. And then I went long again this time, and I said, okay, this one is gonna go up. Now I have better confirmation, 1 or 2 confirmation that stock is gonna go up. And what happened here, it held the VWAP for about 5 minutes. I added more, the asks were stacking up, and eventually what we saw here, that a huge squeeze up at all the way up to 130. And I think I actually took a couple of screenshots on it that we had these big asks here. So I'm going to show it here. That so as you see, by the time that I added to my position here, we had the asks are stacking up bigger and bigger. So this is a very, very big ask, and big asks are usually very, very bullish. So we had this one, and I have a lot of these screenshots. I'm gonna add a new course on that. So for example, here you see that on CCL, when we later traded that, so on CCL, what you see here on the 15, this is huge, significant, and these are lots. So each number actually equals 100 shares. So this is a very, very bullish, and eventually broke up to 1507. So that the breakout actually happened. I just needed to take that a screenshot so I can actually show people to do that. Anyways, so again, even though these are big sellers, the big sellers are generally very, very bullish. That means that people are demanding higher and higher. Imagine you're selling your house and you're in a bull market. Obviously your asking price keeps going higher and higher and higher when you're selling your house. But if you are in a financial crisis, obviously your asks are gonna go lower and lower and lower because that there's not enough buyer. But these guys are sitting here because they know there is enough buyers sitting for them. Anyway, so AMD was a very nice pop-up, and then suddenly collapsed, and I got stopped out almost at the break-even, and then flipped my position for a short because I noticed that on a 5-minute chart we really showed a engulfing pattern. Like that was a really collapse of this 52-week high. I went short and hoping to get to lower to low of the day. It did drop a little bit. I covered some here and then bounced back, and I got stopped out. Never really went above the VWAP, and eventually broke down, and as you see here, is trading lower and lower. It might actually remove all the gains. So what I did on AMD, so obviously I made really good money on the long, and I went made a little bit of money on the short. But what I did here, I actually sold some puts at 125 for a quick bounce. So that one worked really well. And then we go to Tesla. So Tesla, I lost money on trading share, but actually I made money on the calls, or 250 calls, and I'm going to explain to you exactly what happened that Brian and I traded the calls. So Tesla, Tesla was also pretty volatile at the open. It came up and below the VWAP came up and squeezed up. I went long. We had some huge big ask at 250. I added more, hoping to break the 250, and then dropped, and I got stopped out, and unfortunately didn't make any money on that. But what Brian and I did was that this 250 is a very important level here on a daily chart as well. So you see it, it's a kind of like a 52-week high, and it seems like a very big resistance. What we did is we sold the calls up there. So we shorted the calls, assuming that this is going to be bouncing from 250 and doesn't have enough momentum, and that's exactly what happened, and I'm actually still in there. So sold the calls, and as Tesla started dropping, especially at around 10:30 had a huge drop, our calls lost value. So this is my position here. So $6.60 we shorted that, and then we covered like 20 contract, and I still have 5 contract left. So as you see, it loses its value slowly. Perfect. That's a pretty good situation here. TQQ, I had one loss also on TQQ. Where is TQQ? That at the open I tried to go long, and I got stopped out. That was one trade. What else? We had CCL. CCL, as I mentioned, CCL was just on fire. It just keeps going higher and higher and higher. Unfortunately, I didn't trade that. I missed the whole move up, and then I scalped it quickly for the break of 15, as I show you based on these big asks. And came down, came back up. Eventually, 1507 is a very important level that they rejected that, and it's just I don't think it's going to go any higher. But having said that, guys, I want to remind everybody in the community, and of course in the chat and in YouTube, that we have secured a New York NYSE tour for the people who are attending Bearable Traders live trading workshop in New York at the end of July. Anyone who signed up this week will be eligible we select from them, because we have only 20 spots. So if anyone signs up until Friday, you're going to be eligible. And I think it's a really good chance that your name comes up out of that. Unfortunately, we can't have everybody there, but it's a very, very amazing, very, very amazing experience. You're going to love it. So if anyone really is interested, it's my picture. I did it in 2021 with Jim Cramer. I saw Jim Cramer there, and it's just an amazing experience. Just the whole it's just it's the center of financial of the world. So I love that. All right, guys, that's it. So yeah, if you are interested, sign up. Make sure to sign up by Friday, and then looking forward to see you in our workshop. I think in our workshop we're going to add a couple of new really good presentations on there. So right now Crede is coming. She's coming from Europe. And Brent Donnelly is a really professional trader, senior trader at HSBC. He's going to come and give a presentation, and we're working on a couple of new other guest speakers as well. So, and thanks for coming, and thanks for your support. Really, we are not making any money out of this event. We actually lose money on the event, but it's good to bring people together and have this in-person meetups. So your support is very, very appreciated. Like, without your support, we wouldn't be able to do that. And it's really a fun event. So a lot of presentations as well. All right, guys, thank you so much. And looking forward to see everybody in New York City. Ciao.